And we're live, people.
Outer Haven.
Assemble! Dun, 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 dun. All right, welcome, guys. Welcome, whoever's watching today. This is an Out Haven special. Um, it's been a long time since I've been back, so Nicky Vengeance back. I've came back to say hello to my brothers on the crew, say what's up. And I came up with a theory that I'm sure a lot of you who's kept up to date with our streams have heard about. Me thinking Jinbei is gonna die. So I think there's quite a lot of evidence of this. So I'm gonna go into depth of it a bit, talk about why I'm thinking, why the examples, the foreshadowing by Oda and stuff, and my Outer Haven brothers here. Well, obviously, because I don't think either any of them believe me. Probably, actually, none of the crew believes me except for myself. But when I'm proved right, I'll be called Lord Vengeance or Lord Nicky Vengeance. So this is
Lord
gonna go
Vengeance
quite a
sounds
way.
dope.
It does, doesn't
Yeah.
it? And Lord Vengeance, because someone took vengeance, that bastard. But anyway, let's get into it then. So I'll basically start from the beginning, right? The minute we got into Whole Cake Island, right? The first time we really saw Jinbei is has when he has that little speech with Aladdin, essentially talking about how that he wants to he bets his life on Luffy and he's gonna be the one to become Pirate King essentially. Because at the beginning, before I didn't think that Jinbei was gonna die. I knew he was gonna be in Whole Cake Island, obviously, because he works under Big Mom. But this is when it started to like become. It became more aware to me that I was like, wait a second, what's going on here? Like, is Oda foreshadowing the death of a beloved character? So we see here Jinbei talking to Aladdin and saying essentially that he's gonna give up on the crew and stuff and he's going to leave the Big Mom Pirates. And he's kind of worried about how it's going to go, but he has to do what he wants to do, you know. So essentially, he wants to join the Straw Hat Pirates because he knows Luffy's going to become Pirate King. Reading that really first that was the first hint to me that Jinbei is probably going to die because the more we've seen from this arc, the more unpredictable it's been. But the one thing that's been consistent is Jinbei is going to betray Big Mom. So and or to the rest of you guys, feel free to like jump in whenever you want. But yeah, so essentially from that was the beginning part, and that's like chapter of 830, he who gets bet on, and that was my first hint of Jinbei, and basically basically gonna die, and then we see him also in the same chapter go talk to Big Mom and go to that wheel of fame as we see it, the wheel. I won't call it wheel of fame essentially, but it's a wheel of torture essentially. So when I saw that, I was thinking that may be a bit too early for Jinbei to die, but I thought essentially he may lose some he may lose something, a limb, or maybe something to do with the soul fruit and everything. I so those things came into my head, but I didn't think Jinbei would die straight away. He'd become like armless or something like that. But because later on we find out he avoided such a thing, he actually got called a coward because he didn't do the wheel, and the fact that now it's spread out through the whole of the Big Mom Pirates and Totsland itself. That Jinbei, probably the most honorable pirate there is on that Forsaken Island, is now considered a coward. And this sparked another thing in my head. I was like, now he's avoided the wheel. He's literally pussied out of the wheel because essentially all he said what he said exactly is he smelt death on it. So he knew it was gonna go badly. This brings me to my next point. Now the next thing he does, which is even crazier, is he helps Luffy out by attacking one of his fellow crewmates. He hasn't yet left the Big Mom Pirates that they all know of. They all kind of they still know he's a coward, but he's still part of the crew essentially because he hasn't done the wheel. But we do know he fucked up Mr. Which I was wrong about. I forgot his name essentially. Cream Chalet Good.
Um,
Opera.
up,
Opera, that's it. I was gonna say I don't know why I kept just thinking saying Pedro, but yeah, Opera. So he literally one shot Opera, and Opera was knocked out, and that was strike number two for me. So he literally skipped the wheel and he knocked out a member of the crew,
That's basis drill.
and that's already exactly that's his basis already for getting killed by a big mom essentially because these two things hand in hand, usually you would get someone killed off straight away. But the way obviously the story goes, that Big Mom essentially doesn't know what's going on apparently, which I don't think is true. But it seems to me that Jinbei's literally just counting he's getting lucky for now, and Old is saving him for later and later on for the arc. And then the third thing happened. The third massive thing happened. The deal between Capone and Jimbei to invite Luffy to do an idea to essentially assassinate Big Mom. And that was the final straw for me to know Jinbei is definitely going to die. Because essentially, the way we put these things, Jinbei has consistently been saying he's going to give up his life for Luffy throughout this arc, saying he's willing to make the sacrifice and stuff like that. And one of the biggest issues is it takes one day just to get away from Whole Cake Island itself, not Totland, but just Whole Cake Island. And now the rest of the fishmen have left in this arc. They've all basically bounced. I can't say they have 100% certainty, but I don't see any reason they should be there anymore because once the wedding starts, no one's able to leave. So that's the one time they'll be able to leave. That's why Jinbei in this last chapter had a little chat with them and was like, look, basically you guys got to leave now before the wedding starts, or you just do a lot. You get caught up in this assassination problem. If it goes wrong, that means everybody's gonna die. So the thing that why I say the third point is the most important to me now is because essentially we all know for a fact, okay, maybe not it's a giant fact, but it's pretty much a fact that this assassination plot is not gonna go well. And the fact that Jimbei was one of the people involved in it, especially is not gonna go well for him. Not even Capone. Capone's a slimy guy. He might find a way out of it, but Jinbei don't have any more men left with him. It's just the Straw Hat crew, and they got enough to deal with because trying to help Sanjay out. Jinbei, being who Jinbei is an honorable man, and he'll probably try to take his punishment one on one with Big Mom. Because the way characters talk sometimes, like for example, how Ace told Luffy when he's younger that he'll never die and leave a little weak brother like him behind. But what did we see in Marineford? My nigga died in front of
Well,
Whitebeard. Yeah. What? Sorry. Go on. 44.
Ace was like being stupid, but Jinbei was always like being the smart guy in
Yeah.
Marine
Yeah.
Corps.
Of course, but the thing that's there's a big loophole in this whole issue because even like they're not gonna assassinate Big Mom, that's a fact. And essentially, even if this tiny part Jinbei manages to find a way out of it, the fact is, Fishman Island is in trouble. There's no way all the fishermen leave and the Straw Hat crew leave because of the failed attack. Even Capone, if the Straw Hats leave as well, that means Capone to me is likely going to find a way out of it as well because it's his plan. So he's going to find a way out of it. And then all that's left is the fact that Big Mom's territory is Fishman Island. There's going to be consequences for Fishman Island if there's no repercussions for any of the fishmen. And the thing we know about Jinbei is he's not willing to put Fishman Island in harm's way. We've seen that in the flashback or in the Fishman Island arc. He was willing to do so much for it, like fight for it and all these things. He even joined the warlords to save Fishman Island. He even threw his bit in with Whitebeard, even though Whitebeard's a good dude. Then he threw his bit in with Big Mom to protect Fishman Island again. And we know the only way that possibly that Fishman Island could survive because there's a whole thing with the fact that Luffy is foreseen to destroy Fishman Island is that if someone gives up their life for Fishman Island. And we know it's going to be none of the Straw Hats. They're pretty much all safe. Pedro, please, Pedro, I'm not even sure about if he's whose team he's on. Like he's a sick character, but he's too shady for my liking. Carrot's probably going to join the crew. So it's just left to Jinbei. Jinbei is going to have to do something self-sacrificing to save Fisherman Island either way if he gets off the island or if he doesn't. Because he's going to have to make a deal with Big Mom to save Fisherman Island to sacrifice his life. And I know you guys are probably thinking, why would she do such a thing? Because Jinbei is such a great asset to her as being part of her crew. The fact is respect. You can't do the three things that Jinbei's done essentially is mutiny, try to to join a plot to assassinate her, and didn't do the wheel as well. I mean, that's a just one of them is just cause to kill any pirate. But for Jinbei, that's three strikes and you're out. So
think the
yeah.
you know how people were surprised with Jinbe not spinning the wheel, because I think that Oda actually made the character consistent. Because if you actually analyze his personality, Jinbe has always had trouble with authority. Actually, like you've seen it. We've seen his loyalty to Whitebeard, but when he was a Shichibukai to maintain like good balance with the Marines and with government, he had this like authority problem. Like if something didn't like if he didn't like something, he would just go against it. With how he was against Ace execution, and he just made himself like rotten um, prison stage 6. You know,
Yeah,
remember?
and Impo down, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it's kind of like in his personality to go against authorities. If you actually think about it.
I get your point, but that's like the world government. Like the world government wasn't gonna essentially didn't have Fishman Island in the balance. They weren't threatening Fishman Island. But the fact is, Big Mom will threaten Fishman Island. Like for example, Luffy only saved Fishman Island earlier because he pissed off Big Mom so much that she decided, oh no, now it's gonna be he's gonna be the person I attack, not Fishman Island because of the sweet factory being destroyed.
No, I was actually just
So he,
explaining his personality and about the wheel. I wasn't
oh
referring
okay,
to. Yeah,
Then
no, I
the
thought the
wheel.
we. Oh yeah, you go. Sorry, did you carry
Yeah,
on?
I know. But like the wheel, like he just straight up said, like there literally is no way you can survive doing the wheel. Like it's meant to kill you.
yeah.
But that's the whole point. Like, and
And it can
so
kill your
as soon
crewmates.
as he saw that, he's like, okay, like I'm not gonna like use it. He's like, I'm not trying to die.
And it can kill your crewmates too, apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like he
Well,
hints
yeah,
that
it's
stuff.
meant to exceed
Yeah.
over your own lifespan. That's the whole thing. It's like you have to sacrifice other people, which is why Seppo had to die.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, right.
But
Exactly.
like,
That's
oh, I was gonna keep like so basically
yeah.
the mastery thing is like I feel like that like Luffy destroying it is only obviously not going to be him destroying it, but it's going to be a result most likely of what he's doing now, like you just said, which is like Big Mom's probably going to come back for vengeance later, or like people are talking about like if Kaido from Caribou learns that Poseidon is Shirahoshi, that he might come there and try to steal her, which would be crazy if they both fought, because people did joke about like if they fought there, but I wouldn't be too surprised because like it's right under Mary Joie and the Red Line. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see something crazy like that. But like I also feel like we needed to get a Fishman on the crew because I'm like in the boat that like Luffy's gonna eventually collect like basically all types of races on his crew, like by the end of the series. That's how I feel.
Okay, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that point. But it's just like the one big thing about this arc as well. They've always hinted at is the fact that the Yonkos are dangerous and the commanders are dangerous, right?
Right.
And no
Someone
matter
should
who
die.
else, yeah, like I'm not trying to like I'm not hating on Jim, but I'm just saying for the
I don't
fact
know.
the way it's going, the most impact that any death can have that's non-straw hat is going to be Jimbei. Just
But
essentially because we've seen him what he's been capable of doing. We've seen him save Luffy. We've seen him kind of essentially be kind of allied with a crew since like day one, basically. So it's just like someone like Jinbei that would make the most impact for Fisherman. I like Fisherman, the Fishman arc. Sorry, not Fishman arc, the Whole Cake arc to end with a death of him. Because essentially, even if Luffy'd like to fight Big Mom, there's no way that he could. They would have to run. There's no other solution. It'd be
right.
like Marineford all over again. And the fact that they'll have to go, the fact that there's a break with the Reverie next, it would just give enough time for them to be a big enough gap for Luffy to kind of deal with Jinbei's death and essentially before they go to Wano. So that's why I'm just like, I know, okay, I can't say I know for certain because that's hard to say, but I'm like 99% sure he's dying this arc. Like, it's just, yeah.
Another thing for me is like you've heard my theory about Jack and him being like the full, like half fisherman and having like master fisherman karate and whatnot. Like
Yeah.
that's why another thing is I feel like Jimmy's gonna have to fight him. Like if he has fisherman karate, like I feel like a Fishman to fight a Fishman is perfect, kind of like how Zoro fights swordsmen and stuff like that. Like their type of fighter that they excel at. And I feel like him, like overcoming Jack would be like a crazy thing, especially if like later down the line Jack does come to Fishman Island or something crazy like that. But yeah, like I don't know. I feel like the last chapter, because I'm guessing that's when you got like super hyped about your
Yeah, I was like,
theory.
yes,
Yeah,
I
about
think
yeah.
that's like I think that's Oda what he does all the time is like the red herring of like I'm gonna like pretend that this dude's gonna end up like dying, like because he's saying he's dying, but then like Luffy's gonna pull Luffy and save him, like we saw with Robin, and a bunch of other characters, and like even this arc with Sanji. Like whenever someone thinks that they're gonna like sacrifice them for the better of everyone else, Luffy comes and like saves them, stops them, and then like makes the situation better. Like we've seen it in almost every arc.
I would usually agree with you, but the thing is, the stakes are way too much higher now. Essentially, of all the people surrounding this kind of this whole arc with the commanders, like, because I personally don't think Cracker's out of it. He's like, I reckon he'll be at the wedding. He'll just maybe be a bit injured, but he'll be there. Smoothie's still about, and obviously we saw the beast that is Katakuri knocking guys out or killing them with jelly beans. So like those three people, they have to get past already, and we saw how hard it was for Luffy just to get past one. And it's like, and they're
I
just
do.
trying.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
sorry, I just finished. They're just trying to save. The first thing they all really want to do is save Sanji, and that's what I think is going to distract them most about doing it because, essentially, no matter what happens, right? I don't think Capone has told them the whole plan because there's something a bit off, like how they didn't mention like Katakuri during the plan at all about who they're gonna face, but at the same time, we didn't see them talk about the plan in detail either. So,
I just want to mention
Yeah.
that they already saved Sanji technically.
I mean, it's not really because his
Sanji's gonna stay either way, so they still need to technically save him because he's
yeah,
still
because
gonna stay on the island to save his family.
exactly, and Zeph, they still the Zeph threat, and yeah, his family of course as well, like
Well, I
DJ
mean,
just said.
the only way the Zeph threat gets resolved is if Big Mom goes down, but that's not happening according to you guys.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen.
There's
No
no
way.
way she's going down.
Family is
Like,
everything.
What'd you
All
say,
right,
yeah,
Steve?
I'm sorry I interrupted you. Continue.
oh yeah, so I'm just making the point. It's just like there's too much going on. It's not like the usual situation where Luffy jumps in to save characters. It's like Jinbei is kind of in his own. He's the type of person like he'll put himself in a dangerous situation for the best for other people. And it's the way the arc's going, essentially, that everyone's going to be split up doing their own kind of missions. They won't be able to get there in time to do anything to help Jinbei, especially when they have their own kind of mission and battles to deal with.
So
If you
what's
get my
Jinbe's
drift.
like side mission gonna be? Because like, there's no way that he's gonna be able to walk up to Big Mom and be like, okay, take my head, but don't take Fishman Island. She's not gonna give it a single fuck, bro. Like
I think,
the whole reason prior, right? That speech with her to Sanji, right? Because I think she was being
yeah,
honest there when she's like, yeah, normally like I'm a like nice enough person to be reasonable, right? But like she's they said like if this was some along the lines of basically like if this was any other day, like this wouldn't happen. Like because she knows that she's getting her cake in her tea party. So now that Jimmy's directly trying to fuck up the tea party, like I feel like she's gonna be even more pissed off. That's how I feel. Like I don't think she's gonna be reasonable about it. Plus she'll be probably in her rage mode. Like I don't see Luffy or Jinbe walking up to her and be like, yeah, like take my head, because that's what I don't know. That's what it sounds like you're trying to say that he's gonna do.
no, I'm
Okay,
saying
so I don't.
all right. Sorry. Let me, Steve. Let me just say this,
All right,
just
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I'm not saying exactly that, but I'm just saying whatever the consequences of this arc will be, when I think the assassination plot fails, I think, and that's the time when I think Jinbei will either make a sacrifice. Then I'm not saying he'll walk up to Big Mom or anything like that, but I reckon because of Big Mom's hunger and she loves the fact that she loves whole, Fishman Island sweets and everything. I think that she can just to be swayed just enough that Jinbei can sacrifice himself to allow Fishman Island to go on because there's still a benefit to Big Mom getting those sweets from the island and essentially having like a strong force essentially with Fishman Island. And just to point out as well, on your thing about Jack as well, I was thinking, even if Jinbei does die, the Fishman pirates essentially still can't be part of Fishman Island because they're still pirates technically. So I reckon they'll probably join Luffy's alliance after this arc.
Which
Either
is
way,
fine then, because they can go do whatever the hell that they gotta do.
yeah,
Like the
exactly.
whole thing with like Luffy's island is like they're literally gonna take like Luffy's gonna try to conquer it. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna probably put his flag up afterwards, either after that or after Kaido. Like they're eventually gonna put his flag up there.
Yeah.
And like we could see like Noah, right? Like being fixed and shit like that, and like see that because that's something that's gonna be the main reason that like they're gonna destroy Fishman Island if Luffy himself like does some part of it. Like I could see them destroying it that way to force everyone to go on Noah and then be able to live on the sea, like on the actual like, upper portions of the world and not underwater. That's how I saw it. Like they're gonna use
Yeah.
Noah like a Noah's Ark basically style.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's like the whole Joy Boy theory. Like, and essentially, we don't know who Joy Boy is, but
No,
it
no
can
me
be any
Nicky.
one of the D's. Yeah,
Now
like
I,
it's
I
like
don't I don't see Jinbe dying, but if he does, he definitely gotta go out with a bang. And I'm
Yeah.
talking about like he gonna break every limit that he's
You mean like
ever
a
had.
Naruto style bang?
Like he gonna be like water style. He gonna bring all the water from out the ocean, from out the rivers, from out the juice river, the apple juice waterfall that Pound's talking about. He gonna get all that. He just gonna drop it on whole cake.
He's gonna use hydro cannon.
yeah, that's what.
Hydro.
So we're saying
What
Jinbe
what
is the
what
water
what
boy.
what? Yes. What's a fancy word for fall?
Collapse.
Hydro collapse. Ooh.
All he's gonna do is hydrate Big Mom though.
No, but
Huh?
I get what Steve-O's saying though. He because essentially a character like that just goes out with a big bang. They never go out with a whimper, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hydro collapse.
no, I get that point.
See
But
you
I'm
like
just
this is now my move.
like, for example, I think we all know whatever happens with the Big Mom assassination plan, she's not going to have the same amount of men she had before. Maybe the commanders will generally still be intact, or maybe one will be defeated, but she won't have the same kind of. She'll be a bit weakened. I'll say that much. Not her personally, but her crew.
Yeah. Personally, I just see
Damn.
her like after this arc, like literally just chasing the Straw Hats or like completely like I think she's gonna be so pissed off that she's just gonna completely chase them across the new world and then they're eventually gonna collide with Kaido. Because I still think that we're gonna need to see the Yonkos versus Yonkos because I think Shanks versus Blackbeard's a given, but I do want to see like Kaido versus Big Mom's forces because I feel like that's the
Yeah.
only like reasonable ways that we're gonna soon enough see a good like Cracker versus like someone like Jack like equal fight. I don't know. That's just me though. I do want to see them like
Yeah.
collide at one point in time in the story, just to see like where all the Yonkos stand. So
Yeah.
like I
And
just don't
this,
think that like Big Mom's gonna be satisfied with like any death. Like I think she's just gonna straight up be like, okay, like fuck all these guys, like you're all dying. But like I don't see Jinbe like randomly getting like shot or like killed. Like it just would be stupid. Like if you guys all seen that like interview with Oda, how like he doesn't like to kill off characters unless there's like a valid reason behind it, like something because otherwise it does ruin the arc for certain people.
like to me, like I'm not okay. I'm not. Ah, damn, I don't want to keep saying I wish Jinbei's death, but I mean,
You
I
do
think
wish
this
to
arc.
yes.
Yeah, this art could benefit a lot from a death, and it's not just because I want Jinbei to die. It's because like we know none of those straw hats are safe. Essentially, none of them's gonna die anytime soon right now. So it's like the only other person who's got the same kind of love and like appeal that a Straw Hats does is Jinbei, and it's like everything has been like to me been foreshadowed in this arc. The way that he kept saying he's going to sacrifice himself for Luffy, the way he's gone against Big Mom, the consequences are going to be dire. The Fishman crew's left as well. It's like he's got no one to back him up essentially because the Straw Hats will be busy. Him himself will be dealing with other stuff. Like I don't know exactly Capone's plan yet, but the thing I know for certain is Capone to me is not going to. His plan is not the. They don't know the whole plan. If you get what I'm saying, like whatever he told the Straw Hats by himself, that's not the whole plan. There must be more to it.
Yeah, I just feel that like because in every other arc we've ever had, with especially with the Straw Hats specifically, like before they join the crew and shit like that, like they always try to sacrifice themselves for the crew or for others, and then Luffy like comes and saves them. Even small characters like the what's his name, the Kraken. I forgot the hell they actually called him, but like how his brothers were like getting captured by Hori.
Survey.
Survey, yeah, and they were
Yeah.
captured, and then Luffy just said like, "I'll just kick his ass for you." Like I feel like that would be something like that. Like if it came to the point where like Big Mom said like, "Okay, like fuck you, Jinbei, like I'm gonna blow up fucking Fishman," Luffy'd like, "Oh, my dead body," kind of thing. Like
Yeah,
obviously Luffy's not gonna beat her, but like that'd just be like his personality.
I get that point, but it's like the stakes are too like I understood that before when they were fighting like the CP9 people and even Fishman Island stuff that was going on. But now the stakes are over Yonko, And the only reason that she protected that Luffy didn't even die in the first place because his big mom told specifically Cracker that they can't kill the Straw Hats before the wedding. So to me, now that's going to be off essentially because of the whole betrayal thing. Everything's up in the air. Like I'm not saying that the Straw Hats are not going to die, but they're not going to come out of this unscathed either. Like so.
Yeah. So real quick then. So who here besides Nikki is on the boat that Jinbei is dying? Just so we get like a head count.
I don't know what you just asked, but I'm gonna assume that what you mean is whether or not we think Nikki is crazy. I wouldn't,
No,
I wouldn't say he's
I
crazy, but
I am crazy, but I'm
I
just saying.
disagree.
Like
Do you
this is
think
how
Jinbei's going to die? That's what his question
this is
is basically.
yeah. Because this is how I see it. Like I see what you're saying, and I completely 100% understand why it's like it could happen. But I only say it this way is like from everything that I've seen reading One Piece, right? Like seeing all of it prior, I see that there's no actual fucking way that's gonna happen. Like only because we've seen it so many times. Like that would be like in like Robin's arc if people like, oh yeah, like there's a chance Robin might like actually die, like with a nice lobby, or like Sanji in this arc. You know what I mean? Like
I think
we
there's a
see,
chance that Jinbei could die, but I just don't see it happening because
No,
it's been tossed into our face so many times,
that's kind of what I'm
and
saying though. It's like
and
the red
I
herring
just
effect.
think
It's
like
like
it's too many death flags. It's like once you get so many, they offset one another.
but don't you think it's a double bluff? Like there's the first bluff, like oh he's gonna die, but he doesn't die, and then
like
there's the
how
other
for
bluff after, like
how
haha
would
he
he
might
die?
die.
Because he would have to die in such a big, like kind of like what Steve was saying, in such a badass way to like to make his character relevant when he's going out the door. But like, I don't see any way that he could die this arc that would be like, oh wow, that was like crazy. Like you know
All
what I mean?
right,
Like Ace was kind of like foreshadowed that he's gonna die, but it's still like goddamn, like like it came out of nowhere from when the chapters were first coming out, and then the chapter came out where like he literally got fucking the punch to his fucking chest and died. Like it was kind of out of nowhere in certain terms. Where like
uh,
Jinbei, because like they've been saying it so many times blatantly, like to our faces, like I kind of feel like it wouldn't be like a shocker if it did happen. Like big okay, like some people could be like, yeah, like you would be like yeah, like I saw that coming. Where I feel like deaths kind of need to be like out of nowhere.
I have to agree with what Steve was saying. Is basically I see like this: the Straw Hats, the plan's gonna fail to assassinate Big Mom, obviously, and then essentially it's the Straw Hats, Capone, and everyone else are kind of on the run. And Jinbei is the only person at that time who's got enough energy and has got enough kind of strength to do something to literally distract the whole of Big Mom's crew essentially. So like Steve was saying with the whole he could do his like water jutsu or just use his Fishman karate essentially just flood Whole Cake Island in a way. And it won't have much effect, but it'll do enough because all they need to do is use a Kudo burst. It won't get them off the island, but it'll get them like somewhere little small islands where they can at least get further, they're further away from danger. But the perfect thing about Jinbei is because he's a fishman, he can like even if he doesn't do something like that, he can literally guide them all the way out most of the territory essentially, just to the edge of Totland. But he'll get stopped by someone like Katakuri or something like that, and he has to fight him. And we know it's gonna be like Bonchan basically, where he's gonna be just like the gates are closing, and he
That
has to
dude.
sacrifice himself, and everyone's gonna go, no, Jinbei,
He'd
Jinbei,
be like, oh, come away.
Jinbei.
And then he'd be like, oh, wait, wrong phrase. But, but like, this is how I see it too. Is like, if he dies, like, personally, the only other people that I could see replacing him for like the fisherman leaders or whatever, right, would be someone like Hachi, which would be the most probably prime example, or someone like Aladdin. And realistically, I don't give a fuck about Aladdin in the story. Like he has no ties.
Yeah, I
Like
don't
I
give a
give a
fuck
fuck
about
about. Like he could die and I wouldn't care. Where Hachi, at least he's a bit more relevant. But like to me, I see Jinbei because Night of the Sea and everything. Like I see him as being the person that like was there since like the beginning. Like he's was there with Fisher Tiger, with Arlong, with all the like the well-known fishermen. He's known like firsthand what's happened to all the fishermen, and he's probably one of the people that like literally wants like the fish like Fishman Island to become what's supposed to be, which is why like in Fishman Island he stopped Luffy from being the bad guy to all the fish people. He let Hordy be the bad guy, and then Luffy be the good guy. So like, I feel like Jinbei's like he fits in the crew too well. The helmsman thing that people talk about, and like his relevance to the story as well as the fisherman going forward. Like I feel like it's just too much there. That's how I feel.
But don't you think the fact that like he's been a pirate for so long and
And he's got to
he's
meet
literally
Koala. Sorry.
yeah, Yeah, he's got. I don't know if he'll meet Koala eventually. I
Oh,
hope he
he's dead.
does, but
But you want
like
him
I
to
don't think
die.
he will though. Like I think Aladdin will probably meet Koala or something like that because Aladdin still like knows who
But
Koala
Jinbe had
is and
more of a
everything.
relevance to her than Aladdin did, because
Yeah,
Jinbe was the one
Jinbe
that like
actually knows Koala.
yeah
No,
like
but they all know Koala. It's just Jinbei really knows Koala.
yeah, that's what I'm
So
saying. Like he like
yeah,
it would make more sense because like how like Sabo and like
and
them knew Robin, like it would make more sense for like them to meet Koala down the line with Sabo. I don't know, that's just how I
but
feel. I feel like the relevance of like the Fishman characters like make too much sense for me.
Yeah.
but don't you? That's but the point I'm trying to make is like the fact that Jinbei's been a pirate for so long. He's been a pirate with Fish Tiger. He's been a pirate with Whitebeard. He's been a warlord. He's literally done like everything you can do generally in this world. And there's this whole thing of passing it on to the new generation. So he knows Luffy now has the will to save Fishman Island no matter what, from obviously the Fishman Island arc. So once he knows it's in safe hands, I can see him saying, "Look, I'm willing to sacrifice myself now because I know there's someone out there who's strong, who will be strong enough to achieve my dream, and that will be Luffy and the rest of the crew."
I don't know, like I'm still in the boat because like when we did that Blackbeard theory, like I talked a little bit about like my idea behind like the kingdom, and I still think that like Luffy's crew is gonna like represent like the original 10 like leaders or whatever of Joy Boy's like kingdom, and like I feel like Jinbe is kind of gonna be like the reincarnation of like the original fish guy or whatever, and like I feel like what you said, like the relevance of where he's at now, like he's done a lot, but like I feel like he still like needs to be in the story till the end, like in terms of like what he knows and like what he can bring to the table for Luffy's crew, like knowing other people. Like right now, like what he did, like almost no one else could have done that with the Capone thing. Like he knows he has ties with a lot of people. Like when he meets people down the line, the fact that like he wants to save like Luffy for Ace and stuff like that. I don't know, and like him meeting obviously Sabo and talking about this would be a big thing in the story. I feel like there's too much things for him to do more so than what he's done.
Yeah, I just want to ask Nikki. I agree with you, DGK, by the way. I just want to ask you, Nikki,
What's up,
what
Monkey
do you,
D? Sorry, yeah, I
um,
just want to say something.
what do you see as a purpose of Jinbei dying, like in the story?
I see the purpose essentially. One, it shows the fact that no matter how strong a character is or how beloved they are, there's always a possibility of them dying, and the impact they'll make for the rest of the crew is it's like they know like they kind of they know they have to get stronger, but it's such a kick up the arse because everyone's been messing about basically the way things have gone that they'll be so much more focused and be like, this is really the new world. Like even though Zoro had that little speech before when they fell asleep in Park Hazard and that will be like such a shock to the whole of the crew that they'll literally like when they get to by the time they get to Wano they'll be so ready for a fight, like they're just gonna be like so emotional about it. And I think that will just be like a good what's the word I'm looking for? A good what am
Motivator.
I saying? Yeah, motivator. Yeah, a good motivator for them, especially they're like because right now it's just like I want to take down the Yonko, but now once you lose someone like Jinbei, it's like I know what I need to do to take down the Yonko. I need to be so much stronger than I am now because Jinbei, even though he's been about for ages, he's still one of the strongest characters in that we've seen, especially out of the Seven Warlords. Anyway.
So the
I feel like
question
you
was,
believe in
what's
power.
Jinbei's purpose?
Wait, that
Yeah, he's gonna be like a motivator for them when he for his death. It's gonna motivate them to see that the Yonko, even though Luffy, because Luffy just he scratched the win, but I don't think he realizes how much he scratched that win. You know what I mean? He's still taking it lightly. So I
I
think
don't
Nikki,
think he's.
if someone like Jinbei dies, especially the rest of the crew, even though they'll successfully get Sanji back, the rest of the crew will pay attention and be like, "Yo, people like Jinbei are dying, and we know how strong they are. We need to be on our one on on
toes.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, on our
Nikki,
I, I,
toes."
would- I,
power
I
of
would
friendship.
compare.
Nikki, believe.
Uh,
I
hey
would
man,
compare
you
Jinbei to something like a brace, like an ankle brace. Like Luffy is the ankle, and he's always hurting himself. He doesn't know what to do, but Jinbei is going to keep him straight. I don't
Exactly. He
know.
literally needs Jinbei, bro.
no
Especially now.
he. Though he's with his crew now. He needed Jinbei during the time skip after the events of
No,
Marines
I'm
War. That's
saying
when
the
he needed
crew
him.
needs Jinbei because they're all going into like unknown waters. That's the whole thing. Jinbei's gonna guide them so they don't get like step in too deep. You know what I mean?
I mean, they've
He's
been
gonna be like,
Oh,
trying
"Oh,
so
be
hard. They don't
careful
actually
here.
need me.
Be careful." You
what
know what I mean?
Oh,
They
you
don't
guide
need
them through the
Jinbe,
new
but
world.
he
They
can
don't
help.
need, but they don't need that though. That's the whole point of
No,
the
they
whole
do. Look
journey.
at someone like Kid. Like literally, it would be like them going to the new world, not knowing what to expect. Right? Like we saw other supernovas who went and did that. Look at
So
Kid.
how's
He
No,
lost
Jinbe
his
gonna
arm.
prevent Kaido
You know
from
what I
falling from
mean?
the sky though?
but I get, yeah, I get that point. But what I'm saying is the fact is they've got this far by not doing that, especially the other supernovas. I know there's
But
they're
they had to
injured and
literally
stuff.
stop because they weren't even ready.
Yeah, but now they're ready though. They're
Are
ready
they
to
ready?
go.
I
Yeah,
feel
Well,
like
I mean,
I
if they
Dude,
weren't,
no,
that's
no,
I
kind of
Nikki,
think.
the
how are they?
point.
Wait,
No,
wait,
here,
wait.
realistically, how are they ready when their goals are to crush the fucking Yonkos, bro? You know what I
They're,
mean?
they're, they've
You
got
really
they've
think?
got an alliance of like what
but
12,000 men already,
if
like
we
just
take out the
from leaving
well, if
Dolphy.
we take out though, right? Like the supernovas that aren't like relevant, like for instance, like Capone,
And not even that. The whole
like
alliance isn't going to be at Wano,
like
bro.
yeah,
There's
like
no
even
way.
then, like even the whole alliances, they're like
But they're
first of all,
not going to. It's the whole thing.
they never planned for that. First of all, but also like just I still feel like there's no way. Like that's like I feel like unless
They're not
literally
showing up.
every single person there, like for instance, if Kid wasn't there, it's not happening. If Raw wasn't there, it's not happening. That's
Exactly.
how I feel. Like it's literally like to the point where they need every single individual there. It's gonna make NA's lobby where one person fucks up, like it's over.
And that's going to be them having more people than their alliance. You know what I mean?
Like
Yeah,
that's why I feel like
I think people forget that not only is Kaido a Yonko and his own crew is going to be massive, that they're going to be extremely powerful. He's going to have individuals akin to the likes of what we've seen on Whole Cake, but he's
Most of them will
going to
probably
have
flop.
some allies. He's going to have plenty of
Exactly.
allies whose reach is going to be incredible.
Just
Wait,
listen to
okay,
Steve.
I wouldn't bet
He
wait,
won't
on
wait,
guide
that.
you
okay.
wrong.
Let me just hear what Devil Egg saying. Go on, Devil Egg.
I'm saying I wouldn't bet on like Kaido having a bunch of strong people.
what?
Why not?
I mean, we have Jack, right? But I mean, then we have like Sheep's Head, then we have Iron Boy Scotch, and those guys aren't like that big of a deal.
She
Well,
To the
said
point where we
those
should
are
be
people
sitting on
who are
Shanks.
assigned to different roles anyway, and
Yeah, but they're part of Kaido's crew. You can't
yeah,
just
but I
discount
mean,
it. Your point.
Big Mom has weak people in her crew, and we have weak people in Strider's crew. Shanks has Rockstar, so I mean,
I don't sleep on Rockstar, bro.
Dude, he has a
All
fucking
I'm
pet monkey.
saying,
He'll fucking rip your face off.
all I'm saying is I don't think we should be like accounting for Kaido having like 20 Yonko level people on his crew. Is all I'm saying.
no,
I
no,
like
no, 20 Yonko level people. That's absurd. I mean,
I was
they're going to
exaggerating.
have
That's the whole
one,
point.
but he's
maybe
gonna
two.
have the Shogun. He's gonna have all the daimyos that aren't like in the alliance. He's gonna have their leaders, like like their vessels, which is like Kinemon people. Who I still think Kinemon's a god. Like I think he's still gonna be a fucking beast when he goes all out. Like
Yeah, I
I
agree
feel
with
like
that. Yeah.
and like Sheepshead for Sheepshead, right? I get it, bro. He basically got one shot. But realistically, right? Like during the fight, with whatchamacallit, with no, I'm talking about just with the 6 day fight, right? We know even afterwards he was still like ready to go. So like he was relevant for those fights. You know what I mean? Like
But
for 6 days he was still going because we see
yeah,
him afterwards without really any injuries. You know what I mean? Like I feel like people are sleeping on him personally.
Who?
Sheepshead, I feel like
Oh
he's
no,
gonna
no,
be
yeah, dude. He got fucking trolled. Come on, bro.
yeah,
They
like
Yeah,
literally
they-
had a little kid in Zoe take him down. You think he's gonna be that weak?
yeah, like I think
Nah,
I
Wait,
mean,
what?
I
No
don't
I
think
don't
he's
think
that weak.
he's gonna be
No, but
like
I'm
the
saying all I'm
ministers
saying is
though.
in Zoe we literally see a little kid from Zoe one shot him. Literally one shot him.
That wasn't Sheep's
Like
Head. No,
no, so what? Is he
that was
that
not
fodder
Sheep's
where like he can't fight? Of course not. He's gonna come back and still be doing shit, you know?
What you saying,
That wasn't
Double A?
Sheep's Head. That definitely wasn't Sheep's Head. They got one shot by the little kid.
Was that not Sheep's Head?
Oh no,
No,
Sheep's Head. Yeah, it's right. He's right. Sheep's Head ran away to get Jack, didn't he? That's why Jack came back and was just like, "What do you mean? Why did you guys leave the island and that? Why did you leave Zunisha?"
Let me go reread
Oh,
because I could have sworn that was Sheep's Head.
it was
I have
just
to
a
reread.
fodder gifter, dude.
I actually forgot about that
Actually,
moment. I just hear
yeah.
people say it all
but
the time.
Actually, I'm mixing things up. I don't know where, but
I,
I don't think it was Sheep's Head though. My bad.
yeah, I
Nikki,
think
but if you're saying you're mixing
What?
things up, how can you say that?
Wait,
No,
wait,
I'm
okay,
just
wait,
kidding.
wait. Let me get back to the, let me get to
Hold
the
on, let me
actual
make my
point.
point.
Monkey, actually, yeah, you go, Dev. Like,
All right, so what I'm saying is, you guys are saying people are sleeping on Sheep's Head, but what I'm saying is they don't need Jinbei to take out Sheep's Head. Like you guys are saying Jinbei is like a necessity to the crew.
well, no. I'm not saying they
even
need, but
survivor
like for
out.
instance, someone like Brooke, I think where Sheep's Head is, I personally think that like Brooke would fight him like 1v1 and it'd be a good fight. That's honestly where like I think that they should be because I assume that
That's why I
Kaido's
put him.
crew, from what we've seen, they have less members, but they're just more OP overall. You know what I mean?
No,
So
they
I
said
think
they had like millions of people. Like it was a never-ending stream of people on Zoe. At least they
wait,
hyped it up to be like that.
No, they're talking about the ships.
They don't
The
have
ships
any of
kept
the
coming. The ships kept
I
coming.
don't-
Like
I don't think Jack had any more than like maybe 100 to 200 people with him.
Yeah, he only had a couple ships, right?
well, the whole point with the end never ending was people kept like coming back to back in terms of like the ships. Like for instance, say they sent 5 ships the first time, right? And then we saw later when Jack came back to Zoe, he had 4 other new ships with him. It was like that. Like
But
they
Jack
came in
didn't
like
come back yet.
no. I'm talking about like when they were fighting on the island over the 6 days, right? They were sending more ships over time. Like they came in like
In
groups of
waves
5.
is what he's
Yeah,
saying.
exactly. Like waves.
Oh, I mean, then in that case, it was
All
still
right.
like
By the
And
way,
Skywalker.
you also have to keep in mind that they have regenerative capabilities, so they were probably able to swap out. Like whenever they were like getting knocked out, they probably fell back and then recuperated while the others were getting, thrashed or whatever, and they came back.
all right. But let me just get back to the point of what Monkey D said in the beginning about why I don't think Jinbei is necessarily
Power of
important
friendship.
for the crew. First thing I'm saying is they literally trained all the 2 years to be ready for the New World, right? And I know obviously there's stuff that Jinbei knows in advance about how dangerous the New World is, where not to go and where to go. But the fact is Luffy has never listened to that stuff. Like the minute they got I know this is bad to forget, but when they have this essentially the Navigator Watch.
Yeah, the dude was like, let's go to the most dangerous one right off the
Yeah,
bat.
no one can stop him from going to the most dangerous place. He
Bro,
always
but what
goes
about
for
him
the
even
most
joining up with
adventurous.
Capone in general, bro? From what we know
Who?
from his, from Luffy's personality, there was a 0% chance that this, alliance was going to happen. He should not be teamed up with Capone. Literally, the
No,
only
but-
reason he is because he listened to Jimbei.
Yeah.
No, but I think anyone could have made. Okay, the only problem is
No.
the people that
Not
wait. I'll just say this.
anyone.
No. Anyone, wait. Let me just make the point.
I
I
mean,
think
you gotta talk
someone
about
like
the
maybe
point
like
that has
Zoro or Sanji would have mentioned that.
But the whole
People
thing
like
with-
Nami and maybe even Robin. Robin's
Zoro and
smart
Sanji
enough
wouldn't want to. They would have. Dude, Zoro's literally the type where he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna follow my captain's lead. Whatever Luffy wants to do is what we're doing."
Yeah, like
Follow.
No,
Like
but he
you better
does.
get in line.
But when he hears a
Don't
good
destruct.
idea, he still goes with a good idea. Like for example, and he stops
Yeah,
bad
but the
ideas
thing
as
is,
well.
Jinbei had to come up with the good idea. Is my whole point. None of those
Yeah.
people that you named would have even thought, "Oh yeah,
that's
let's
different.
go
No,
team up with
Nikki.
Capone."
But that's in context of the situation. Like the situation was everybody that was capable, in
If
my
the
opinion.
entire crew was there and Jinbei wasn't there, and they found out about the plot, they would
Just
not
an
be trying to
alliance
team up
is
with
Jinbei.
Capone.
That's because
No,
Capone's planning
Sanji would have thought about it.
He wouldn't have
definitely.
You
listened.
think Sanji would want to team up with them?
Yeah, because essentially, if
I
the
don't.
plan goes,
I don't even think
wait,
Sanji
wait.
would know much about
Wait.
Capone as Jinbei does.
No. But I'm making the point is Monkey D's putting the example of if they knew about the plot. So I'm saying someone like Sanji or even maybe Zoro, but more likely Sanji, they could see what would happen if Capone and them. They're both one's trying to save his family and one's trying to assassinate Big Mom, and if their plans both collide, it can end in a disaster for both of them. So someone like Sanji has the foresight to be like, dude, let me just figure out. Let's go talk to Capone. Let's figure out his shit because we're on the same kind of path. We're not trying to mess with his plan. He's not trying to mess with ours. But we agree that Big Mom's basically got to go. We're trying to get rid of.
I feel like
Big
you're
Mom.
giving Jinbei way too little credit. Like,
But
No, I'm not saying. no, no,
How
I'm
would
not- I'm not
Sanji?
gi-
How would
I'm not giving
Sanji
him little
even think of
credit.
that though?
But
No,
real
but
quick,
he put him in a context of like that's what I'm saying. Like
no, but
'cause
I'm saying
Sanji-
if they knew the
Sanji's
plan, like Sanji,
strategic-
why would Sanji think that Capone would have a shot at taking down Big Mom?
No, of course
Why
he doesn't
Jinbei?
have a think. He has
No,
a
then
shot,
why
but
would he even think of teaming up with him?
Because teaming up with him,
I think
essentially is
I think the
gonna
biggest
lessen
factor
damage.
isn't
Like essentially, like for example, if you have two plans, right? You have two different goals, but essentially is both to disrupt something, the wedding. Essentially, what they're both trying to do is disrupt the wedding. One's to save the family, and one's to try to get a shot at Big Mob. If their plans collide and they mess up each other's plans, that can go badly for both of them because essentially that means they all die. So someone like Sanji, he generally he's the most probably strategical thinker out of the Straw Hat crew, I could say, would think about it more deeply and be like, okay, we have a chance of Capone messing up our plan. We have a plan of, and Capone can mess up. We can mess up Capone's plan, and we don't want to do that before we succeed in our mission. So that's what I'm saying. That Sanji would think about joining with Capone to figure out what he's planning and stuff. So they just don't collide. That's all. I'm not saying
But
it'll
Nikki,
definitely work out.
you're missing my main point though. My main point is that Jinbei knows Capone's history. Sanji doesn't.
No,
The
but we're
reason why
saying if you
the
found
reason
out
why
about the
Jinbei
plot.
even had the idea is because he knows what Capone is about. That's why he went to Capone and
Exactly.
said, "Look,
No,
Dave,
but
I
if
I
we know
know
what
you're up to something."
actually, wait, sorry. If
I
we
thought it
know
was because
what
of Peckham's.
No,
wait,
he
'cause-
knew Capone's
Oh, what
backstory. He knew
was it,
Capone's
Beckham?
backstory, and Peckham's told him the plan.
Look,
Well, even if that's true, he still knows Capone's backstory. That gave
but
him
don't
more reason
but don't you
to actually
think
follow through with
Capone's
what Peckham was saying.
but don't you think Capone's backstory is more scary than not? It's only the circumstances that helped out
That's exactly
everybody.
my point. If they
No,
knew,
because
like,
yeah, I'm making a point. Example. The point is that this, for example, the fact that Luffy the only reason that even Jinbe would even do such a plan is one, he wants to join the Straw Hat crew. If he didn't want to join the Straw Hat crew, he wouldn't even go through such a plan, would he? He'd stick with Big Mom because it's more beneficial to him to save him at Fishman Island from just getting like raped and pillaged and that. So I'm just saying, there's a lot of things that happen to make those circumstances possible. That's all I'm saying. It's not like he was like, yeah, let's go take down Big Mom because we should. He was like, okay, wait a second. Luffy wants to take down Big Mom. I want to join Luffy's crew. Capone wants to take down Big Mom. I don't want Luffy and Capone to collide. So why don't we just all get together and figure out a way of kind of making this happen? And he knows it's most likely going to happen. We can even hear him saying he's not sure how it's going to go. That's why the rest of the Fishman Island crew had to bounce. But that's the point I'm making. The circumstances made that shit possible in general. And I don't know why you guys don't think Sanji, because we've seen Sanji have been strategical and thinking, and we've seen Zoro have some moments, and even Robin. Like out of the three personalities on the crew, like even maybe Frankie as well. I know I'm
Yeah,
adding
even
in
on
the
Zoe, she was like,
female.
"Yo, don't fight Big Mom," and
Yeah,
giving
exactly.
general advice. Like Jinbei's not that like some advisor guy, at least not
Yeah,
hyped up to be.
there's enough people on the
no, it's
crew to
not about
give
him being
Luffy
an
good
actual
enough
advisor. It's just
advice.
the fact that Luffy respects him so much that Luffy will listen to him.
Yeah, but he'll
Like
listen
as
to the
you
rest
were
of the
saying
crew.
before, literally, like whenever what's it called, they were going to a super dangerous island that they really could try and avoid, and Luffy's like, "Yeah, we're going to that one, the most dangerous one," and everyone's saying, "Luffy, please no." He didn't care. He's like, "Nope, I'm doing what I want to do."
I get
He holds Jinbei's like what Jinbei have to say, his word, in such high regard. He's like, "Yeah, well, I know I want to do my own thing, but Jinbei's kind of the man. Maybe I should listen to him."
no, but
Actually, he
don't
was
you
willing
think
Like
to
it's
listen to
just
Robin.
Jinbei's
this?
word is damn near bond to Luffy, bro.
No, but don't you think?
Exactly.
But
He
don't
was
you
willing to
think
listen to
that?
Robin, but like he just didn't because she wasn't
Yeah,
around to reinforce
no,
it.
but
No, but if
you're changing the circumstances of what he's asking. He's telling Luffy something that he really wants to do, which is take down Big Mom. If someone
wait,
made
who
the same,
Jinbei?
Jinbei, yeah, Jinbei's giving him the option of saying, hey, there's another person who wants to take down Big Mom. I think you should listen to them. If anyone else said that on the Straw Hat crew, which he trusts more than any, like, is Jinbei and the Straw Hat crew is who the people he trusts most. Maybe Sabo and I'd say Shanks a bit as well. But those people generally who he trusts most in the world. And if they're giving him an idea of something that he already wants to do, and they're telling him this will make it easier if you join up with someone else, why would Luffy say no to that already? It's like I think he's grown a bit. I know
Because
I
Capone
know he's
shot Peckham.
immature and stuff, but
Capone
I think
shot
he's
Peckham. That's why.
Peckham. Yeah, but he just wanted to punch him though. He didn't kill Peckham's. You know what I mean? So
No, but I'm
he
saying
forgave a
he
lot of
hurt one
people.
of Luffy's friends.
So
Why would
Robin's
he?
hurt one of Luffy's friends as well. Like
I,
people
I
get
see where
forgiven quite easily.
I see where you're coming from, but my whole thing is that Jinbei actually has a different sort of worldview. I know you can argue that Robin and Brooke have that too, but they don't ever speak up about the things that they know that are going on in the world. But Jinbei is a character who will actually do that. And that's the only reason why he was even able to suggest this alliance because he knows what Capone is capable of, what he's done in his history. Like I understand,
But
like you saying, if Sanji or anyone else from the Straw Hats were to know and were to have the idea to suggest this alliance because of those reasons, then yes, I think Luffy
yeah,
would listen to them, maybe.
yeah, exactly. That's the point I'm making, though, because, for example, we've seen them stand up to Luffy when Luffy's been making bad decisions. Like, of course, the whole thing with Usopp, the whole situation where Luffy's going to say apologize, and then Zoro's like, "Nah, you don't apologize. You're the captain. You can't do that." And the same thing when Sanji kicked Luffy earlier in that arc as well, in the Water 7 arc, when he's like, "Look, you can't talk like that. Like you can't be such a dick and talk to Usopp like that and tell him to leave the crew, basically." And Sanji kicked him. So he knows when he needs to, when the people in his crew are talking sense, he listens to them. And the point I'm trying to make, I know Luffy's genuinely quite immature and quite stupid sometimes, but I think obviously he's starting to mature now because usually I don't think the Luffy of like maybe the beginning of like let's say Alabasta would listen to a plan so easily like that and just sit down. I think because he's literally gone through some stuff, he's matured a bit and been like, yeah, I know sometimes I've got to work with people. He just literally found out from working with Law that he couldn't take down Doflamingo by himself, you know? So I think he's realized how hard it is to survive in the new world. So he's matured. So when someone comes up to him with a plan like that, he's not going to necessarily just brush it off straight away because he's thinking to himself, I just went through something with Dolphy that took so long to do, and I almost died twice. And if it wasn't for the help for the rest of Dressrosa helping me out, and Gats and all those guys, he would have died. So someone helping him, another person offering him a help to go do something he wants to do anyway, I don't see why he would say no anyway, because he sees how hard it is just to accomplish his goals. Like he knows taking down a Yonko is not going to be easy. So I think that is a checkmate.
No checkmates.
We'll go
Right.
see. Right. I'm just making my points because that's what I'm saying. There's enough people on the crew. I'm not putting down Jinbe, but I've seen like the thing I've liked about the Straw Hats is the fact is every person that's been on their crew, they've gone through their old kind of journeys, but they're not known too much about the new world. Essentially, they've discovered it with us essentially. So when we've read it, we've discovered all the stuff with them. So if someone like Jinbe just joins the crew, I'm not saying he shouldn't join the crew at all if he doesn't die, which I think he will anyway, but.
But Nicky,
It'll just it'll spoil the whole journey and adventurous part a bit because I don't want Jinbei saying you shouldn't go here and then Luffy just listens to him because I don't think he would anyway. But I just see the fact that makes the Straw Hats and One Piece good in general is the fact is we're discovering these places
I don't think he's gonna
together.
say like not to go places, but he'll tell him like not to challenge people. You know what I mean? Like for example, if he sees Luffy like super hyped up to go on an adventure, like go ahead, buddy, like go to the island you want to go to. Like I don't think there's like an island in and of itself.
Nicky,
About
why?
okay, yeah, go for
I was gonna ask, like, I get your points, but why? Because back when we entered the first half of the New World, the first half of the Grand Line, the Paradise,
Yeah.
we also had a similar situation where you had to understand the danger and, like like the danger and the intimidation of the sea. It was the same thing, and then why would
what example? Sorry for to interrupt, but what example do you mean?
like with back then it was like, well, you entered the Grand Line, right? So you basically entered the most dangerous part of the world. Back then that was the logic. But the thing is that why would Robin survive in situation? Because Robin is also a little stale like Jinbe. And like you'd say that takes away from the adventure that she can read the poneglyphs, but we've seen her.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying what she's learned essentially the whole way through.
Yeah,
Robin.
but the thing is that she's incorporated into the story, even though she's stale and like helps like a little too much with knowledge. She's still incorporated into the story, and why would you?
I don't think you're comparing like apples to like butter. Like it's not the same. They're totally different things because her experience are totally different from Jinbei. Jinbei was with a pirate crew. He sailed the seas. He's fought loads of Marines. He's been around the New World for ages with Whitebeard. What Robin was doing is essentially running for her life most of the time, just joining random organizations. Like,
but she had
you know what I
experience
mean?
in Paradise.
Yeah, but they, literally after that, they're already out of those like a few more steps out of paradise. It didn't matter then. And like she didn't know anything about Water 7 much. She just knew about books and that. All she wanted to do was discover the poneglyph. She didn't really study anything else. That's what I got from it. But Jinbei, he has the advantage of being around in the New World for so long and seeing all that's happened to like the past decades in One Piece. But it's like he's got a kind of a cheat code, and I don't like it's like when when Zeph offered Luffy his like logbook, and then Luffy was like, nah, I want to just discover my own thing. That's how I see it, basically.
I get it, but it's like with same thing with Robin. Actually, it was like
It's not though.
with Crocodile to like see the poneglyphs too, and then
No,
and
but
then
it's not because she gave up on her dream, and it's only because of the straw hats that she's found all these random poneglyphs. Because like she never knew what all these poneglyphs are. That's why she was so surprised. Like, what was the first time she found a poneglyph again? If I correct me if I'm wrong, but it was Skypiea, I think. So that's like the first time she'd ever been to a sky island. But technically, that's in the ground line. But she didn't know anything about it. But someone like Jinbei,
Yeah, I know.
he would have known something about that straight away. He would have known sky islands exist in that. You know what I mean? He knew a lot more because he's been around. He has experience of sailing the seas and that. So after listening to me, guys, what's your opinion about Jinbei then? Like, I'm not saying everyone loves Jinbei. I'm not saying he's not meant to die or anything like that. But I'm just saying I think he will die. I'm like 99% sure of it. So, what's your opinion now?
I agree with you.
As in, if do you think Jinbei will die end of Whole Cake Arc?
I think Jinbei will die.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Devil Leg. I got 1 vote. Yeah. Woo.
So did Nikki change her mind, or have you always been thinking this?
I mean, he changed my mind. Kind of. I mean, I wasn't leaning toward any specific side, but
thank you, Devil Leg. All out, anyone who's watching in the comments, put in what do you think about my my theory about Jinbei dying and stuff.
I feel like DGK is holding back for some reason.
No, he's busy at the moment, mate. He can't like do stuff. But he says 100% no. That's what he says. I'm reading in the hangout. Anyone else? Come on, guys. Don't be shy.
I don't think he's dying, dude. I think he's just the man. Like,
he's the man, but I'm just saying.
I think it's like 92% no.
Like, we just got, that's pretty much a no. So, that's another no.
92%?
Nah, but like, even for example, what was it, just last chapter, where like, there were major death flags. Like, I get it. I get why you could see why you think he might die. But it's just like, dude, you think Oda's going to troll us that hard where he hyped up Jinbei being a Straw Hat for the longest, and then it's never going to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does that stuff.
No.
Like, he hyped up Ace for the longest, and Ace, we never saw Ace again, like, after Marineford is done.
Dude, did you not read the cover stories, Nikki?
I wasn't reading One Piece
this guy, come on, man.
at that time, but I can only imagine that it was actually some dudes back in the day saying Ace would be Pirate King. I can only imagine.
But I'm just saying, like, I've made my points already about it, but I'm just saying, if you guys like, just think about it this way: how are they gonna get off Whole Cake Island? Like, even forget about their plan about the whole glass stuff, because the whole thing to me is Brûlé. That's just not gonna work out, I don't think. But the only way I see them getting off Whole Cake Island is with the help of Jinbei. Someone's got to stay behind. Someone's got to pull a.
Do you think that Jinbei would hold off all of her Big Mom's forces from stopping? You know what I mean?
If he think about it this way: if he floods the island, right, like what Steve said earlier, and most of the whole crew is Devil Fruit users. He's weakened most of them, right? And I'm assuming some of the commanders are not gonna. Okay, let's say not Katakuri or someone like that, but some of the commanders will already be injured, or they won't be all fine. You know what I mean? So the only person possible.
Wait, injured from what?
From judging.
Whatever's gonna happen, some people are gonna get hurt on Big Mom's side as well.
Yeah, I feel you.
One-sided thing.
So
I'm saying the only way that they'll be able to immobilize all these people is with someone who has the power of using water as an attack, and that only person who's left on the island to do that is Jinbei.
But then why wouldn't he just send a massive wave on land? If you think it's gonna hit them, weaken them, and because he's a fishman, just dip out. And then just be back on the sunny.
Because it won't be enough. They're going to be people stronger
than him. He can just keep spamming that, right? And we'll keep weakening them. And then because he's a fisherman, he'll swim so fast that he just gets back.
No, but I think he'll be injured as well.
You believe, Nikki.
No, he's going to be injured as well. He's going to be injured as well. Look, there's no way. Look,
happen quite like Nikki does, but I still see it happening.
Joseph Logan. What do you think he's gonna die in Wano? He's not gonna die in Wano. He's gonna die now, man. Because the point I'm trying to make is, the replacement for Jinbei will be the rest of his crew. That's how I see it. Like
Jin-
when your captain dies, you get a new. They'll just join. They won't join up. They'll just join up with Luffy's alliance, and then they
Nicky,
will all go to fight Jack and that.
just,
You know
I
what?
just
Actually, go on ahead, Evans.
you said that GGK was writing in Hangouts. I just saw this comment that Jinbe never sailed with Whitebeard ever.
What do you mean? He was. I'm not saying. I never said he was part of the crew, but they were boys one day.
Well, that means he doesn't know everything about the New World, and there could
Yeah,
still
of course he does. He's literally sailed the seas with his own pirate crew. I'm sure he's been on. You telling me he's never been on Whitebeard's ship?
Bro, he
Just been
sailed under
chilling on the
Fisher
sea?
Tiger. Like that might even be
Yeah,
better.
but Fisher Tiger
Fuck
died
you.
though, fam.
Nah, dude, I'm trolling.
I think Jinbe
But-
and Jack are going to fight, and it's going to be like, this will be to decide the strongest fish man in all the land. And then Jinbe going to bash his head in.
Now, I get your point for you, but what I'm saying is there's no way he wasn't on the ship sailing with Whitebeard. I'm pretty sure I've even seen a panel of him on the ship with Whitebeard.
Hey, Nikki,
Like, yeah.
you're not gonna like this, but I changed my mind.
Oh my god, you flip flop a devil leg.
Wait, hold on,
Alright,
I just thought about it. Whole cake's not epic enough to have like a meaningful death. In it.
Oh, you
Exactly.
sad bastard. What do you mean, guys? Come on.
I mean, like Ace died.
This
like,
whole
the
arc is
Marine
getting
Corps,
rushed. You know what I mean?
What do you?
I'm going to keep making references to that
I
fight
just
for like the
don't feel
next
like
year.
Also,
All
I
I'm
just
trying-
don't feel like
it's that Jinbe's like DGK's got a point that Jinbe hasn't been with Whitebeard like everywhere in the New World. Like there could be Sky Islands that he doesn't know about. Like
Yeah, but he knows of us. I'm sure he knows of. I'm not okay. Maybe
He knows
I'm
how the New
being
World
presumptuous.
works.
Yeah,
Is it-
exactly.
He knows
been
how
around.
everything works.
well, Robin
Exactly.
knew how the Grand Line worked. That doesn't mean that she knew everything. That she didn't enjoy the adventure.
But she didn't sail with a crew for ages like Jinbei had, though. That's not the same thing.
Well, she sailed with Crocodile. Plus, she had other poneglyphs too.
What do you mean? Crocodile just jammed on one island and created his little mastermind
No,
plan.
he was-
He
no,
didn't
she
go
was-
everywhere
She was going with Crocodile, and she was like, "Oh no, this poneglyph also."
to search for the poneglyphs. There was nothing like once he went to Alabasta, it was like I'm gonna take over a kingdom and we're gonna chill. And that's how he became the hero of Alabasta
Yeah, but-
to piss off King Nefertari. And they didn't go anywhere else. It was like that was it.
Yes, she was, because she was even on the ship before they even reached Alabasta. Plus, she was already going around searching for the poneglyphs, and she already found a lot of them. That's why she said,
How many poneglyphs did she find though?
no, but that I don't know, but that's what she said. Like she said, this.
17.
She also
Oh please.
said that,
That wasn't the first
People.
at Alabasta. I don't think that was her first
she
poneglyph.
also said that this wasn't like when she was reading the poneglyph in Alabasta. She said like,
This isn't it either.
yeah, this doesn't have Pluto
Yeah.
on it as well. Like, it's also a failure. Like, also, you know. Plus, she was already sailing like when around the. She wasn't just stationary like Mr. 2 or Mr. 1.
Yeah, I never said she was just stationary, but I'm saying the fact that Jinbei's been sailing, fighting, going around different islands. And he's been doing that for years. How old is Robin compared to Jinbei? Like he's got like what?
She's a
20,
baby.
30 years?
She's a
Yeah,
baby.
exactly. He's got like 20, 30 years on her. Like you can't compare the two experiences. There's no way.
wait, there's no way Jinbei's like 60 years old.
Bro, he's
Nah,
a
he's
fishman.
old as fuck. These
He's
fishmen
He's
are
40
old,
something.
dude.
Jinbe
He has
40
gray
Nah,
something.
hair.
Like
No, I'm
he's not 40. Like what?
Yeah, he is 40 something.
Are you sure?
in fishman years, that's like 82.
Yeah, good point.
Last time I checked, Jinbe was in his 40s.
Okay, let me check Jinbei's age actually. Let me check it out.
You're not gonna believe Steve-O? What do you mean?
He's 46.
I got you, Steve-O.
And how old is
Yeah, he's
Robin?
46. Good job,
30.
How old
Timberlake.
is Robin?
Exactly 30.
He's got 16 years on her. Just sailing the seas. Come on.
I mean, that means he could drive, and Robin was born. That's not much.
Well, okay, for example, he's a fishman. He can literally swim wherever he wants. He hasn't got no weaknesses like Robin does. So she can't. Maybe there's certain places she can't get to because she has got a devil fruit ability. You know what I'm
Wait, so
saying?
what are you trying to say right now, Nikki?
I'm saying the fact that Jinbei is a fishman gives him access to to islands easier than someone like Robin who's young.
Oh yeah,
Who has a devil fruit.
He brought up a good point. Brooke has way more than Jinbei then.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but Brooke didn't do anything for like what, 50 years? He just stayed and died somewhere.
Dude, he was training. What do you mean?
40 years.
Or whatever, 50, 40 years. But the point I'm trying to make is that Jinbei has much more experience than Robin on that stuff. he has been in the New World. That's how he got to know Whitebeard. Where Robin hasn't been in the New World that I know of.
Yeah, dude, it's
So
like saying the comparison, honestly, though. It's like
yeah,
saying someone sailed their entire. For example, someone like Don Krieg. He sailed his whole life in East Blue. He's the man in East Blue. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
exactly.
But once he got to the Grand Line, the tier gap was so big. It didn't matter. You're new here.
Yeah, he got
It's once
smacked.
you
Well, I
go
mean,
from
he had
Paradise to
bad
the
luck
New
in running
World.
into what's his face, the strongest
Do you
warlord.
think that
So.
even if it wasn't Mihawk, that you think he was gonna last?
Yeah, I mean, come on. You see all those
You think
fodder
he was
crews in the
gonna
Grand
last?
Line. You see all those fodder
Oh,
crews in the Grand Line. He would have been fine.
Dude,
no,
so
come on,
no
man.
way.
Not like
He
that.
would have
Not
ran.
like that.
Well,
Honestly, bro,
goes through
he would have
the
ran
Grand
into what's
Line.
it called? What's his name?
it
Fuck,
just
I'm
depends on
forgetting.
how he goes about things. I mean, knowing Don Krieg, he would have ran into somebody that he couldn't defeat and got smacked just the same way he did against Mihawk.
Dude, Don Krieg thought he was
Dude,
like the best.
if he ran into Arlong, he'd be finished. Like, what do you mean? There's no
Yeah,
one.
literally, literally.
There's no. He would have
Yeah,
not
what's
been
his
able
name?
to get
Damn
out
it.
to the. It's
Why
just
am I
like,
forgetting? Oh, dude,
and
he would have ran into someone like Foxy, got fucking Davy back, and been on his crew. Like that's it. You know what I mean? Like
You think
he
Doc Reed
was
did
not
something in
good,
Davy's
is what
next
I'm
fight?
trying to say. Well, no, my whole point is this: he was a pirate for a long time, you know, in East Blue. But once he got to the new, like to the Grand Line of New Sea, like this isn't East Blue, bro. Like that's just the whole point. When you go from the Grand Line, like Paradise, to the New World, this is not Paradise anymore, bro. Like that's the whole thing, you know.
We're not talking about the New World. We're talking about the Paradise.
No, but I'm saying from Paradise to the New World, because Robin had all her experience in Paradise.
yeah, exactly.
That's Nicky's whole point, you
Yeah,
know.
and she
Yeah.
still
So
knew
like
enough about
Jinbe
pirate
has
alliances
more
and stuff to
valuable
advise Luffy.
experience.
No, and
Wait,
What?
so the
her
argument
concentration.
is that Jinbei is more valuable than Robin? Is
No,
that the
his
argument?
experience. He
No,
had more valuable experience.
he
Oh,
knows
okay. Well
That's
then,
what
yeah,
I'm trying
duh.
to. Yeah.
I
yeah,
didn't even know that was the
exactly.
argument. Of course he
Robin,
does. What?
Tell 44
Yeah.
then, innit? He
Robin
doesn't
still knew
believe.
about pirate alliances enough to help Luffy and stuff make decisions.
Yeah, but
Wait,
she's
so Nick,
smart. She knows
think that,
common sense,
think
though.
that
She's like, she understands. Like, she was in an organization that had to like did stuff. You know what I mean?
Nikki, you cannot
Of
try to
course
say
you can, Nikki.
That Jinbei knows the entirety of the New World. You can't
I
say
He
didn't
doesn't
that.
know
say.
the
I didn't
entirety
say
of
that.
it,
I never said that. I
but
said
he's
he
gonna
knows
know a
more than
lot more
her.
of it. He's gonna know a lot more. That's all Nicky's saying.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but isn't that the same with Robin? Like you're trying to tell me that it's like that I don't want to
Okay,
believe. But
but
obviously, the
no, but
same.
okay.
It's just
Let's see the
Robin
motivations of
knows
knowing.
essentially nothing of the New World. You
Yeah,
yeah,
know.
but it's a different sea.
I
That's
wouldn't
what
say
I'm
nothing.
saying. Like the first half.
Yeah, I'm saying essentially nothing is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like
but
compared to what they're actually gonna see, like
I mean,
I
if
don't
they
know.
okay.
confuse around with Dragon and stuff, they might be doing stuff in the New
Yeah, I
World.
know the last
Mm,
maybe the last 2 years that's different. But what I'm trying
that
to
is
make the
different,
point.
no, you don't have to
What I'm
but that's
compare
making.
only
them.
2 relative years of experience that count. You know.
You
Yeah,
don't have to
Yeah.
exactly.
compare them. You don't have to compare
And
them in
and
the
that would
book.
only be based upon hearsay because I don't think she actually spent time in the New World while
Yeah,
she was training.
she was what's it
No,
called, chilling
I'm
with
not
Dragon,
talking
like on
about
a
the New
moon
World.
location.
I'm talking about the fact in the storyline, back when that sea specifically is the most hyped. The same situation was with Robin back then. So now it's the New World. After the New World, we could go into space, but right now it's the New World. And the same situation is happening. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm confused though. Okay, what's kind of your point now? Because I'm pretty sure I've kind of already like spoken about the point now.
Yeah,
Nicky's
but
trying to buy you.
no, I'm like, I'm not 100% convinced that he's either gonna die or he's gonna live, but
Oh, okay.
I'm
Well,
just
that's
like saying that this, like, don't just throw away my argument because I'm right. It's just
no.
that back when we
What?
entered the Grand Line, Robin was already sailing, and all right, she didn't know
She
everything, right?
wasn't. Okay,
That's
okay, okay, okay. Let's put it in
that's
context.
But she knew
She
a lot
wasn't.
more compared to them. She was telling them everything they
Yeah,
needed to know.
she knew a lot
yeah.
more
She
about
went
the
and asked
Grand
Robin for
Line, but
everything.
let's put it in
She knew about the
context.
admirals.
Robin was like literally like their encyclopedia.
No,
You know
but
what I
I'm
let
trying.
mean?
yeah,
I'm
but
trying
let's
to
put
think
in
of what else.
context though, guys.
Didn't she give them a
She
lot of information on the Florian Triangle in Sabodi too?
Yeah, she's the dude. She's the one that tells them everything that was happening. They're like, "Oh, what's going on over there?" Then
No, the only
Robin
no,
just starts saying it. You know?
what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay, I get those points, but those are stuff that I'm essentially thinking that she's read from a book because we know that's what Robin basically does. What I'm saying about
Mm.
experiences that Jinbei literally has probably gone to those kind of places. You know what I mean? And that's like the difference between being there and just talking about it.
Reading.
We've never
Yeah,
seen,
reading about it.
we've never heard of Jinbei going to either Wano or Raftel or the Giants, Elbaf, or yeah, like we never actually
But
heard.
he's been in a new. I think he's because he's been in a
Watch
new
when we get to
Din
Wano
vibe
and Jinbei's
build.
on the crew. He's gonna just start talking about Wano's been like, yeah, it's been like about 15 years.
If he's dead.
He's not dying.
But he's dying though. It's okay. He won't make it to
Can't
Wano,
die.
but in
He can't
memory,
die.
we'll keep his top knot. We'll keep his top knot as part of his.
Dude, didn't Devil like
in
even say
memory.
earlier this arc has not been hype enough to kill Jinbei? Like, come on.
Haven't you thought the last few chapters have been starting to get quite hype now? Like the whole fact that the whole plan of
They
like
are.
the whole
Dude, I
yeah,
like this arc.
exactly. It's leading to
But like,
something,
you think
guys.
Jinbei's dying? Come on,
It's
Nick.
It's not
leading
hype
to
enough. People
something
don't even-
big.
That's exactly the thing. It's not hype enough. Like, bro, we know. Like, this is the thing, Nikki. We know it's gonna be something big, but we know like they're not trying to take down Big Mom this arc. You know what I'm? If
I
they're,
mean, they're literally trying to kill
like, I
her.
would completely agree with, or I would see your point more if they said they're trying to take down Big Mom,
They
and
are.
then like, and you were like, yeah, what's it called? Jinbei's dying.
I mean,
Well,
they
I'm
totally
saying,
trying to kill
if
Big
they
Mom.
went, no, I'm saying if they went into the arc with it, like they brought all
Okay.
the straw hats. I was about to say, like they're not holding back anything, you know, and
you
they're
got
not
a
trying
lot
to like
quieter.
sneak in some
Yeah,
poison.
Monkey D, you're a lot quieter, man. Sorry.
Yeah, you just
Yo,
got a
can you
lot
hear me?
quieter.
Yeah, you're
Yo.
quiet.
I can, sort of.
Okay, my bad.
Okay,
It's
you sound
better
better
now.
What was I saying? Oh no, I was just saying like, for example,
I
if they
think-
were fighting Big Mom the way they plan on fighting Kaido, then I would see, okay, yes, this is very dangerous. They're planning on staying to like finish it, you know? Like we all know that the poison's not going to kill Big Mom, you know? Like I'm saying like if they had their whole crew and they're like, we're not leaving till Big Mom dies, and it was that type of a situation, I could see if you said, yeah, Jinbei might die. Yeah, because like it's way more dangerous then, you know? But it's not even like that.
But it's quite dangerous now. He's really mutinied in the crew. He dodged the wheel.
Did he mutiny? Big Mom literally let him walk back. Dude, here, if it was a mutiny, like, or I mean, all I'm saying is
he
like,
beat
bro,
up one of his crew members.
I
When
know,
he
I
leaves for
understand that because he
Luffy,
went
like
against Opera. Like, he went against Opera, but do they even know that yet?
They
Mom, they're gonna
should.
know it at the wedding. It's
Basically,
gonna
No
be a
matter
full
what
moon.
happens,
No.
they know now. They have to.
I
'Cause
mean,
look,
Opera was the only one, right? That was.
there's three people that's missing out of the crew now: Opera, Brule, and what is it? Actually, there's a lot, even the Mihawk cat. Mihawk.
Bobbins.
Bobbins is missing. There's too many people missing for them not to notice there's something going on right now, and that's why I think the minute Opera, because Opera's definitely gonna say something. The minute he goes, oh, like, actually no, he didn't want to say anything. I remember now in that chapter. He's
Yeah,
gonna try and
'cause
hide
he would
it,
die.
but Montdior is looking into it now. He's suspicious of Opera. So once Montdior finds out what Opera did and lied about not having the straw hats, he's gonna find out why, and then Jinbei is gonna be enemy number one, because no one knows about. I think they know about Capone, but I think Jinbei is much worse because he's got a lot more to lose than Capone does. Because they have leverage
I mean,
over
Capone
Jinbei.
has a family.
No, but Jinbei has Fishman Island. That's his whole family. That's
Capone has
his
a
race.
I
He
was
has his,
joking.
I
I was joking.
was gonna say,
I'm
like,
joking.
screw that smoking baby. I don't care. Like,
Yeah, I was literally dying when I saw the pacifier with literally a cigar. I couldn't even help it.
yeah, I mean, and
Guys,
that's what I'm trying
the-
to tell you guys, man. It's gonna happen, people. Just believe. Believe.
We do
Hey,
believe.
Nikki, how you feel about Katakuri, Nikki?
I thought it was kind of beast because I was trying to catch up to the last stream. I caught up to the first part with where Laz and you were on. I liked Katakuri. Like I was quite confused though because it wasn't his name for like potato starch, but now he's jelly bean. I'm kind of like, what?
It was like a moniker.
Oh,
No,
Monica. Okay.
his name was mistranslated to dog tooth.
yeah,
His name's
Oh,
actually
okay.
potato starch. It sounds way cooler than anything else.
Yeah, I don't know. A dogtooth sounds cooler to me, but he looks pretty sick though. And the whole now observation Haki's back in the fold. Like I think
Yeah,
that guy
dude, that's
might
the best thing.
That's pretty sick. Like you can see into the future. I mean, Jimbei's probably gonna get killed by that guy. That's what I reckon. Like, just throwing it out there.
Go.
Bro, Judge is gonna hide this and watch.
I
I'm
shouldn't
calling
have
it.
brought it up.
Judge is gonna hide that film.
Yes.
Nigga, what?
Watch it.
Did you just say Judge is gonna hide this category?
Yep.
I think Judge actually is that strong, honestly.
Now, if he said Ichiji, then that would be enough for me to be like, oh,
Listen, I didn't say
Why
Judge
why
walk
why
in
do
the
people
bitch
think
slap him.
Ichiji is stronger than Judge? Why do people? What I don't.
It's because he stands there and does nothing.
It's not even
Yeah,
that, but it's just
exactly.
like, why would Judge go through all the trouble of experimenting on them if he knew you could be that strong already? You know.
So why not bolster his army with strong children who do what he tells them to do?
No, but I'm saying like he wouldn't even need to have experimented on them if he's like, yo, they're my kids, like they're already gonna be OP. You know.
Well, I mean, that's not how science works, but okay.
That's what Judge did, though.
That's just what he decided to do.
Exactly how science works.
Because, like, yeah, he's telling me
That's
Yonji
just
is
what he
stronger than
decided to
Judge.
do.
Guys, it's pretty funny. People voted for
I feel you.
it's will Jinbe die? No, 44.44%. Yes, 33.33%. Nicky is crazy.
You're
22.
investing.
Hey, 44% said yes. I'm happy with that. I don't know how many people voted, but I guess it's a good percentage. So thank you, people who voted yes. To all the people who voted no,
No.
you're delusional. All the people who voted I'm crazy, you're right. Well done, people. Well done.
Why did
Okay.
Nicky top 2? though?
Nicky, you must atone for your sins. Name
Man.
your first son Jinbe.
No, I'm not letting my first son. Hell no, man. I have to name him Itachi first, cause I love Itachi. Then maybe something else. That's the only nigga I'll name first is Itachi. Then everyone else.
Yeah, but don't sleep on Judge.
Yeah, don't sleep on Judge, man.
Okay,
Like,
where did this
people
come
take that fight with
from?
Sanji at face value, but like Judge
No,
was probably
Judge
only
wasn't
using
that
like
weak.
10% of his power.
Yeah.
What? Okay, where did this come from, guys? Where's this Judge hype now? Where's this
I've been saying stop sleeping on Judge. I said that since the first chapter he was introduced.
Listen, the Judge hype came from people shitting on Judge. I was like, he's probably not that weak. So I just started hyping him up to counteract.
Look at Devil.
I don't think he's weak at all.
Against people.
I mean, it did look bad when he like kicked Sanji in the face, and then Sanji was just kind of sitting there like, yeah, whatever.
No, but come on, what we've seen from Judge, like I think he's a genius, but I think he's more intelligence than skill. You know what I'm saying? Like, so generally, I think he's gonna get his ass kicked if he tries to fight any of those people. Like,
Bro, he took over 4 nations. Crocodile couldn't take over 1.
No, yeah, for real, he can't be that weak, like, because he was trying to control the whole North Blue.
Dude, it's called broccoli. Like, you telling me the guy Crocodile couldn't just go there and take out broccoli?
I'm not talking about broccoli. Man. I'm talking about 4 different nations.
I think broccoli is in the New World, Nicky. That had nothing to do with Judge's conquest over the North Blue.
Yeah, but he can't. He needs somebody's help to do it. That's what kind of makes Judge a bit like, eh.
Like, and people keep saying that, but we don't even know. We don't even know what's going on in the North Blue.
Yeah, exactly. Don't get me wrong. It's probably like hardcore shit, but it's still the North Blue. Like, then there's the Grand Line. Do you know what Luffy's doing right now? He's gonna put his flag on Fishman Island. Fishman Island. And you're talking about the North Blue? Shit. Fuck, North Blue. That's not the same. They don't even deserve to be in the same sentence, North Blue and Fishman Island, man. Like, Luffy's doing bigger things while Judge is still like, I just want to take over the North Blue, man.
No, wait, you think North Blue compared to Fishman? No way, bro. North Blue's harder.
No, I know in an extent it's massive and it's a lot harder to hold his territory, but I'm just saying he's doing it in a place that's much harder to hold because literally pirates always go through that place. You know what I mean? Like that's just some crazy shit because he's gonna keep doing more and more.
But I feel like the only reason he's having trouble is
he just started whispering it there. Sorry, Monkey. You're just like.
Yeah, you cut out a little
bit. Oh, I cut out. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
I was saying I think he's only having trouble holding North Blue because it's so big. Like if it was one island, they wouldn't be losing. You know.
He had it back in the day, though. That's the thing that's confusing. It's like, how are you gonna have it back in the day and lose it? It's like, what?
Because it's so big that people started probably like revolting all over the place, and
somebody
you know what
came through and pushed them out.
I don't think it was Judge.
I don't think anyone's ruling it now, though. Like that's why I don't think like someone out muscled him for it. You know, because that would mean that one other person is just ruling North Blue right now.
like we see all these top tiers going off to places doing their own things, right? So like I don't see why it's out of the realm of possibilities that even an admiral might have been like, this is my home, you got to get out of here, and like kick Judge out of North Blue, and you cannot be mad at that. It's an admiral, especially if he was rallying the people who live there, who was like people who like grew up with him or whatever. They might be strong combatants, but alone they weren't able to contest the Derma. But once the admiral came through there, he was like, you know what, man, I got y'all. I'm gonna put this together. My military knowledge is gonna help us get through this. I got this devil fruit, man, hatched in a mug. I'm pull something through. You know what I'm saying? I might be able to even wrinkle a ship through here, some fodder, just to help y'all out. Toss that over there to y'all.
But oh yeah, just to point out to North East, sorry, sneeze.
No, God, Nicky.
I
God
bless
bless
me.
you.
No one says bless you anymore. Okay, what's the matter?
I said bless you.
All right.
I said bless
You
you.
literally sneezed on us, Nicky. Like, come on.
Nicky.
Thank you. Sorry,
I said bless you with my real voice.
It was Bluetooth sneezing. I choo, choo, choo. Hope it gets your face, Monkey D. Then you go quiet again. But yeah, to the North Blue guy, North AE's guy, the North. I think the government would have let him take over the North Blue because he's part of the reverie, right? That's what you guys think, that Judge could take it over without interfering from the government. Like obviously not now because he's using Big Mom, but before when he had it.
No, yeah, they're probably backing him or something.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Go oppress the people. Yeah.
Exactly, man. Everyone's forgetting how evil. Like, I'm not saying that evil. It depends which way you look at it. Actually,
No,
pretty,
evil.
They are evil.
Quite
my
literally
bad.
evil, bro.
Yeah, very evil. But so they wouldn't care if the North Blue gets taken over, as long as it's by one of the
One of their own?
blood.
Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Go right ahead. You're trying to gain us more territory? Cool. You know?
Exactly. True that. And after I make another big point about Jinbe dying.
Dude, stop it, Nicky. You're hurting me.
Look, there's a lot of things that's gonna happen in this arc. Well, we're not sure about, but one thing we're sure about is there's gonna be dire consequences. I'll repeat that again: dire consequences. For those who don't know what dire means, it means bad, ugly, terrifying. Someone gonna die, and the person who has the most to lose is Jinbei. Screws Sanji losing his family. Fuck them. We don't even like all of them. And Reiju's retarded anyway. She's getting shot by candy bullets. Please. And then we've got what? Capone? No one gives a shit about his family. But
I do.
Jimbei and Fishman Island, that is something everyone gives a fuck about, man. Everyone loves the mermaids. They love the people there.
Oh yeah.
Exactly, man. So I'm just saying, people, the consequences are going to be the most worst for Jinbei for this. That's why he is going to die. And for those who just joined the stream, check it out from the beginning because I can't go through my arguments all over again. It's a lot to do, so everyone just knows. But the point I'm trying to make is we all know this plan is not going to go through, the assassination plan. Like, so, and the person who's got the most to lose is Jinbei, so he'll definitely die. And the person who's most willing to sacrifice is Jinbei, so he'll definitely die. So that's my argument there and there. So any objections? Anyone else want to make some points to kind of, to counter my own?
I think we made
I think you're crazy, Nicky. God.
I think that's all I got.
I think that's what you got. Okay, I'm still interested in.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that we made our points during this video. No need to repeat them.
Yeah, repeat everything.
Yeah, true, very true. So I guess I should be wrapping up. I think. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Obviously, the truth's gonna happen anyway. Everybody on here from Our Haven has. Actually, did you guys all bet? Like, if I win, that if Jinbei dies, you're gonna call me Lord Vengeance?
Nah.
I'm pretty sure. Actually, well, DGK said yes. So
it's not happening though.
It's gonna happen, and I want it to be called Lord Vengeance.
One of
Please.
the reasons why he won't die is
Oh,
literally
okay.
because of what you said, that
Who's
he
it?
has the most to lose. So if we actually check out the fact that like if Big Mom kills Jinbei,
Where does
she
nigga
no
come
longer has a
from?
reason to actually destroy Big Man Island or excuse me, Fishman Island. Like there's no reason. Her grudge is with Jinbei, and if she kills him
That
here,
would be
that
it.
will kind of quell her anger. So if we actually get what I actually believe is going to happen, the
You have to
fact that
get
she's going to
away.
start coming after exactly, she's going to start coming after the Straw Hats, and then eventually go to Fishman Island to destroy it to draw the attention. Because we actually saw Big Jinbei address that whole the Ryukyu family, or excuse me, I think that was what his name is, the Ryukyu family in Fishman Island. That he's worried about them. He's worried that Big Mom's going to send an attack after them. And Aladdin tried to like quell his worries by saying, "Don't worry about it, we'll handle it." But that's something to be worried about. Aladdin's crew, the Fishman Pirates, the new Fishman Pirates, can't handle a Big Mom attack. Almost nobody can handle a Big Mom attack. So for Jinbei to die will literally weaken the plot point that Fishman Island is going to be destroyed. Now, I'm not saying that that's exactly how Fishman Island is going to be destroyed or how attacks are going to have to like start occurring there, because there are definitely other plot points that could lead into that. But the fact that the reason that like so much has been built up for Jinbei to die. The entire like since Fishman Island, we actually believed that Jinbei was gonna die. Like we actually got the feeling, at least in my point of view, that it was too good to be true. That this great sea knight is gonna join the Straw Hats, and everything up until last point, up until this chapter, has like really dictated that exact aspect of the story. But now I truly believe that he's going to survive, especially because he made a declaration that most Straw Hats make when they're going to actually join the crew and like actually join the adventure, that they're going to do whatever they can, whatever they need to for Luffy. He's made it now. Other times we didn't really see that. We saw like minor declarations from Jinbei, like he saved Luffy during Marineford, during Fishman Island. He tried to like keep him from doing crazy shit, and he told him he'll join eventually. But now we're actually getting like the full declaration with like full commitment of action. Like he's literally committing. He declared he's going to commit mutiny against Big Mom in order to help Sanji, in order to help the Straw Hats escape and to join their crew. He's made the final declaration to the Sun Pirates that he's going to die if he has to. And they even told him like, "Hey, don't die, Jinbei, don't die." So I see where you're actually coming from. Like, there's a lot of strong evidence for that, but I feel like all the evidence is for the build-up so that we don't see Jinbei's death.
Damn, man, you fucking. I don't know. You should be a TV presenter. That was fucking. That was sick. I have like, woo. All right.
So now you can see.
Wait, to counteract his points, that's the fact why I think it's gonna happen, because something so he has to change up the formula eventually, because like you made the point of, the Straw Hats usually go through the same thing saying, I'll do anything to save Luffy, blah 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 blah. And the fact that the stakes are so high in Fishman Island already, blah 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 blah,
Oda
that
hasn't
this could
changed the
happen.
formula in over 15 years. You think he's gonna switch up?
Exactly. Why not now?
No, I'm-
Like, that's
Why
what I'm saying.
not?
Like, that's the point I'm making. Look, the point I'm making is well, I know everyone's going to use it, like, it's because it's so obvious it's not going to happen. But if everyone knows the theory of Occam's razor, me trying to be all smart and that, sometimes the simplest idea is the right one, man. And this is the one that makes the most sense, logical sense, guys. It's like someone's gonna die in this arc,
I never-
guaranteed. You never heard of Occam's razor?
No, it's probably an English thing, like British, UK.
I actually no, I've heard of it, but
Wait,
I
no,
actually think
don't
that.
agree with him right now, Craig.
No,
No.
thank you. Yeah, there we go, Chris. Don't listen to
No, I've heard of
Lucky,
that,
man.
but like I actually believe that Carrot and Jinbei are going to join, and Pedro's going to be the one that dies. He's the one that like his buildup has been pretty nice too, but I think he actually has more, not more to lose, but the losses that he has and the stakes that he's put into this like into the entire arc, actually just coming with the Straw Hats period, like are pretty impressive. And I feel like the best way to commemorate like all his actions and all his efforts is probably to kill him, to make him a martyr for the Straw Hats, so that we always remember him in this arc. But keeping him like with the Straw Hats, even not necessarily joining the Straw Hats, but like keeping him around, maybe joining the Alliance or even returning back to the Minks, will kind of like diminish his entire role, because like he hasn't done that much. Like sure, he broke in to cause a huge distraction to help Brook get inside there. He fought a bunch of guys, a bunch of the like Big Mom's people, and he had a standoff with Tamago and stuff like that. But I don't know if it's sufficient enough to give Pedro like all the credit that he actually deserves, and that's why I think he'll die.
I get your point, but like Pedro's kind of like it doesn't even matter. It's like a ticking time clock, unless like, I don't know if Big Mom can give back soul like your lifespan and stuff. But
Why not?
his no, I'm saying I don't know. I don't know if she can, but I don't see there's any reason for her to do that anyway. And the point I'm trying to make now, since he went and had a fight with Tamago, I don't see why she would anyway, especially because of that. And another thing I'd say
Luffy's
is,
just gonna go and kick her ass, and then
no. Another point about Pedro is I still don't trust the guy. I know everyone's not sure, but there's something still off about him to me. He's still there's something. So I don't think his part is like essentially done in the arc. I'm not saying he's part of Big Mom, but I still think he's something to do with Kaido, in my opinion. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the Vivid card thing, maybe.
Yeah,
You're right. There's a lot of plot points with him.
There's still something still treacherous about him. Like when he arrived on the island, he told everyone to like shut up. Like the rest of the school, like, he like snapped the guy's crocodile mouth. Like, look, don't talk about me. You never saw me. Blah 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 blah. Like he's just like, don't mention me at all. So there's something just off about him. And the fact he's wearing a white suit, where everyone was wearing black suits at that meeting, there's something off about a guy like that, man. He doesn't stick.
I still think that especially with the point that you made, that because he's gonna die anyways, that it would be actually a waste to allow his time to run out without him like actually like contributing to the plan or contributing to anything, period. And I think the most opportune moment for that is gonna be here at Whole Cake.
No, I could see that happening, but to me, it was really like all the cool parts of Pedro's done for me. Like anything he does now is just extra. Like I saw him take out his own eye to save his lifespan. That's some crazy stuff. I haven't seen something like that in a long time. And the fact that he's so goonish, he's just so in for fighting straight away and protecting people. He's already kind of got my attention. And the way he took down Tamago as well, even though Tamago's somehow fine, which is weird, but the way he's just so all in every time is just like anything he does from now on is kind of just a plus. But to me, it's not like I'm not like I like the guy. I like him a lot, but it's not like the investment I have with Jinbe. Jinbe is a different kind of investment. You know what I mean? Like if something happens to Jinbe, I'll get a bit emotional because I know it's gonna happen to him. He's gonna die, man. It's gonna be a sad damn day, man. That day.
I feel you. Well, I gotta go, guys. I couldn't let Nicky get that W. I had to, bring up something. But
see, that's what I said. Everyone gets thanks, Grim, anyway, for coming through, man.
All right,
guys.
appreciate it.
Peace, man.
All right, peace. Well, I get everyone's point of view, I understand why, but I'm just saying, guys, man, look. I can't be blind and see what Oda's trying to show us, all right?
Yeah.
So I gotta go with the flow, man. He hasn't gotta go, but he can't stay here. You know what I'm saying, guys?
Jinbe gonna die. You say Jinbe gonna die, we gotta shoot you down, man.
Hey, man. I didn't say gonna die. I'm just saying he is gonna die. You know what I'm saying? My wording is a bit different, but it still means the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man. It's the truth, man. I'm just saying the truth hurts. I mean, it's gonna happen, man. It's like it's how Monkey D and DGK are all about Usopp number 3. I
was about to say that. No, number 3.
That's how strongly I feel about the Jinbei dying, because I know my name's gonna be called Lord Vengeance in a month's time or two, and I'm gonna sit here and gloat, and I'll be like, look at this.
Would you really gloat like that in front of us, Nicky?
I'll gloat for like at least a week or 2 weeks. I'll get a good 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because the thing is, hey, it was Laz. Hey, Commodore.
I just came in to pop in real quick. First off, thanks for coming back, Nicky. We missed you. Missed that voice.
Of course. I miss you too, Laz, man. I miss you too, bro.
And of course, like the stream, subscribe, all the good stuff. And prediction stream, 10 o'clock.
All right, what time is it? What time? Because I'm sorry, I'm in UK, so I can't really tell.
It's 8:47.
1 hour, 10 minutes from now.
All right, okay, I'm down. Fuck it, I'm down.
Aye.
All right, so yeah, prediction stream. Anyone who's watching now will do. I guess we'll do a prediction stream if everyone's up for it.
Yeah.
who's the guy that move?
That was me, dude. Yo, I'm just dead from work. I'm down.
Come through for the stream.
I'm down.
Okay.
All right, well, I'll catch you guys in an hour then.
Okay, catch you in an hour, man. But don't go and chill, Monkey D. All right.
No, I'm not even leaving.
All right, so. All right. Anyway, yeah, I guess we should just wrap this up. So, just let me just see the last vote tally of the people on the stream. So, has anyone's mind been changed? So
it's going down, Nicky.
Yes or no, peoples? Okay, first we'll go through Our Haven. All right, so I'll do it from.
I say Jinbe lives.
You say Jinbe lives. Okay,
everyone says Jinbe lives. Everyone's gonna say it because Devil Leg already left.
What does Our Haven say?
Jinbei lives. Yeah.
Oh, Our Haven says yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jinbe lives.
No, yes, he died. Oh, he died. Oh, Our Haven. What a lovely guy, Our Haven, man. See, I agree with Our Haven. Our Haven knows what
Oh
he's
wait,
talking
are you
about.
typing on the chat? What are you doing, Nikki?
Oh, what are you talking about, man? That ain't me. I'm
Oh,
talking
I
here
see.
right now. What do you think I am? I'm only using my phone to talk.
That's an automatic L.
Yeah.
You're an automatic L,
I
44,
don't know.
right?
For
Screw
insulting
that.
heavens, that's an automatic 2 L's.
All right, my six.
Do you know what 2 L's? If you bend those
Like
2
on
L's,
it.
what does that become? A W.
No, it's just 2 L's.
Hey,
Facts.
see those? Hey, thank you very much. Thanks
Like
for that,
on it.
lads.
Right, we're done.
All right, like,
You wrap it
yeah,
up?
like, comment, yeah, let's let wrap up. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm happy to be back, guys. Nicky Vengeance back.
Yeah.
And just
Like the
if
stream.
anyone else got
I'll
the
say
stream,
I'll comment the outro. Like the stream, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new
Yeah.
here. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna get these chapter predictions in. And yeah, it's gonna be going down.
All right. So, Stebo, bruv.
I already said it, man. All that's left for you to say is disperse.
No, the outro.
No, but you got to say it again, man. You got to hit
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah. We
Oh.
got it again.
Outer Haven.
Disassemble! Dun, 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 dun.
Wait a minute.